in the last class, we had the introduction of the buck converter. We discussed a practical model for the buck converter. Now we will design a buck converter with a low pass filter. As you can see over here, we have add a capacitor in parallel with the load to filter out the low frequency ripples. What does designing mean? Designing means that we will be calculating the value of inductor and we will be calculating the value of the capacitor for a specific value of load resistance, input voltage and switching frequency. We will drive a formula for inductor and capacitor. Let's go to some assumption. While designing, we always has some assumption. During this designing, the most important assumption is that we will consider the buck converter to operate in constant current mode. Please remember this one. Okay. We will design this buck converter in constant current mode, which means that the current will flowing through the load during the on period also and the off period also. And we will choose the inductor such that the output current remains constant. Okay. The second assumption is that the value of the capacitor is so large that the ripple is very small. Almost the output voltage is constant. Okay. So let's move towards the waveform. As you can see that this is the waveform for the inductor current. During the on time, this dt is the on time and 1 minus d into t is the off time. During the on time, the inductor is charging. During the off time, it is discharging, but it is not completely discharged. Again, the charging starts and then discharging. So this is known as the del IL. Okay. So now we will understand the concept of the capacitor current. For this, we will move towards the circuit of our diagram. Let me remove all this. So now, as you see over here, what we know that IL is equal to IC plus I naught. Okay. So I naught becomes, sorry for that. So I naught becomes IL minus IC. Sorry, these should be like this. These all are DC values. IL minus IC. During this, what we have assumed that our I naught should remain constant. Okay. We have assumed that I naught is constant. So what will happen when a switch is closed? Okay. So when switch is closed, our value of the inductor current is small. IL is small because it has discharged in the previous off time. Okay. So what will happen? The capacitor will provide this current IC the capacitor will provide this current in order to maintain a specific value of the I naught. Okay, when the switch is closed or switch is on, the inductor have been discharged in the previous during the off time. So what will happen, the to maintain that load current, the capacitor will provide the charge to maintain that load current. Once the inductor have achieved the value of that load current, what will happen, this current will get reversed and the capacitor will start charging. Okay, understand this one? I will repeat it again. When the switch is closed, the value of the inductor current is small because it has been discharged previously. So what will happen? The capacitor will provide that current to maintain that constant current across the load. Okay, it means it will discharge. But after the inductor have been charged to the value of the load current, the inductor will charge this capacitor. The inductor will charge this capacitor. Okay. Now what happens when the switch is open? When the switch is open, one more thing. When the switch is closed, our polarity of the inductor is like this. After the switch is open, our polarity will become like this and the current will start to flow. So when the switch is open, now the inductor will charge this capacitor and will maintain the constant current flow through the load. But when inductor current goes below the value of the constant current, again what will happen? The capacitor will start providing that current. Okay. So what does it mean? This means that the ripple of the inductor current flows through the capacitor. When we have negative portion of the ripple, charge is removed from the capacitor. And when we have positive portion of the ripple, the charge is added to the capacitor. Overall, the average value of the capacitor current is 0 and the inductor current is equal to the load current because we have to maintain a constant current. Okay. So average value of the capacitor current is 0 and inductor current is equal to the load current. If you see the graph over here, okay, and if you draw line over here, this is the output current. So during this portion, we have during this portion up till this one. Okay, let me remove this all lines. Okay, first we will remove this all line. So this is basically our constant output current. So we have to maintain this constant output current. If you see till here, because our inductor current is less, so capacitor will discharge to 0 to maintain that constant current. Okay, from till point A. Till after point A, because inductor have attained the value of that constant current, from point A to B, the capacitor will charge. Okay, this is the capacitor will charge. So this portion is our on period. What will happen during the off period? Till point C, till this point, the inductor will charge the capacitor and will also maintain the load current. Okay, but after from point C to point D, the inductor current will become less than the load current. So the capacitor will discharge to maintain that load current. Okay. Overall, if you see the average value of this waveform, it is 0. So why we have done this? Because we want a constant value of the load current. And due to the presence of inductor, we have a current ripple over there. So this current ripple basically appears across the capacitor. Okay. Uh, I hope this IC um, is understand to you. Okay. I hope it is okay with you. So what about the output voltage? As you can see over here, do the, till this point, our capacitor is discharged, so output voltage become less. From this point to this point, again, our capacitor is charged, so our output voltage is decreasing, and again it is discharging, so output voltage is decreasing. Since the capacitor is connected in parallel with the load, so charging and discharging of the capacitor will appear across the output voltage. Okay. Now the area of interest is this portion. Okay, let's see. This is our continuous current mode. Okay, this is our ripple IL, del IL. This is our ripple. So from this point to this point, it becomes del IL by 2. Okay, this is our on time. Okay, so from this point to this point, it becomes T on by 2. Okay, and from this point to this point, this is our off time, so it becomes from this point, from zero crossing, we are taking zero crossing over here and zero crossing from here. From zero crossing to here, it is dt by 2, and from zero crossing to this point, it is 1 dt by 2. Okay, and this one is del Li by 2. So as we know that this is the graph of current. If we integrate it, what means that if we calculate the area of this triangle, can we have the charge, value of the charge? If we can have the formula for the charge. Okay, and as we know that this ripple basically appears across the capacitor, so what we have on the graph of in slide 18, the zero crossing, the base of the vertices of the triangle will be exactly at the middle of the on and off state. So basically, okay, let me remove these. So basically, this whole is equal to T by 2. Okay, because half of the on period, half of the off period, it becomes T by 2. The ripple is del Li by 2. So what is the area of triangle? Half base into height. Okay, and this is because the area of the triangle will give the charge, and this ripple basically appear across the capacitor. So Q is equal to CV, del Q is equal to C del VC. If we put the values, our del VC becomes del ILT divided by 8 into C. So if you know the value of the value of the ripple, you know the time period, and you know the ripple of the output voltage, you can calculate the value of the capacitor. We will see this formulas, how to use these formulas later.